Hello allihop, my name is Kevin. I am a teacher of Swedish and English, and today I'm going to review the Swedish course on Mondly. Okay, so here we have the Mondly course, or the way that it looks. It also has a lot of different languages. I mainly use this for learning Thai. I'm in Swedish now. In full disclosure, I bought the full version of this app because I did really like it and I use it for Thai, so it has a lot of different categories that you can do, a lot of different lessons. So I do really like this, but I only use it for Thai. I haven't used it for Swedish, so we will see what I think about the Swedish course. And then just an overview, you have statistics and just to see how it goes. And for Thai, you can see that I have spent 2 hours and 44 minutes learning Thai, and I have learned 188 words and 121 phrases. So this is kind of what I really enjoy with this. And up in the corner it says 1 days because I haven't used this yet. And so it's 0 points level 1, 0 minutes, 0 words, 0 phrases. So we're going to start off with the Hello course and see what we think. So start.
Brodern.
Brodern. Okay, so right off the bat with the first word. So brother in Swedish is bror, which is the short form of broder. Broder is a very old-fashioned word that you use in very formal kind of settings, and it's also in some places has to do with the dialect of the region, but usually it's bror and the brother would be brorn, which looks weird. You never say the brother in that case, brorn. It's just the brother. I don't know a single situation where you would use that. It sounds so weird. The brother. I don't think anyone would say the brother. I think either you would say my brother or his brother, or like that, and not say the brother leaves. I don't even think you would do that in English. So this just kind of weird. And then we also have with modern and fadern. These are also old-fashioned. Like all of these that has this oder part of it is old-fashioned. So we would instead say for the mother, we would say mamman, and fadern is pappan. Usually in Swedish, when you talk about parents as in mom and dad, you say mamma, pappa, the mother, mamman, pappan for the father. So these two are added just for the part. So we don't really use fadern or modern. They're very old-fashioned, so we would use these instead. So the one out of these four that is correct is systern. Systern is absolutely correct. There is no other version of that you can. And I should also say that modern is not the same as, it's spelled the same as the word modern that you have in Swedish and English, like it's a modern type of house. Then it would be pronounced modern in Swedish, modern, while the mother is modern. Modern, modern, and modern, the mother. But again, you don't really need to know modern as the word for the mother. You just need to know mamman.
Det här är min mor.
And again, you don't need to know the word mor. I mean, you can, but mamma is like 90% of the time you use mamma. So you would say det här är min mamma. You wouldn't say det här är min mor. Because at that time it sounds very formal. It sounds like it's a very weird word to use today. Most people just say det här är min mamma. You don't say mor. It's a good word to know when you kind of look at other family terms, but when you talk about your immediate family. So it's mamma, mom, pappa, dad, syster, sister, bror, brother.
Det här är min far.
And the same thing goes here. Det här är min pappa. You shouldn't use far. You can, but it sounds strange. If you would come to Sweden and you would introduce your dad and say det här är min far, you sound really proper and formal. So you should say det här är min pappa. I know that I commented on it for my Duolingo video, but I must say that the pronunciation in this one is a lot better than Duolingo. So it already has that. So then we go to lesson 2.
Natt.
I love that they did this. I said this in my Duolingo video as well, that they have the articles as well. I love that. I'm really happy that they have that, just because we have 2 articles and they're not logical. There is no, you know, if it has a T in the word, it's this article. If it's this category of thing, it's this article. Like, we don't have that. One flower can be one article and then another flower can be the other article. Like, there's no logic to it. So I'm really happy that they do this.
Eftermiddag.
Okay, this one I think no one pronounced it as eftermiddag. The way that they pronounce eftermiddag. We say eftermiddag. Eftermiddag. We don't pronounce the G. Sometimes we just skip the last consonant. Just so this is eftermiddag.
Morgon.
And this again, we don't pronounce the G, so it's morgon. You can say morgon as well, but I think you would most likely only hear morgon and not morgon and morgon. It sounds very articulated, very, you know, academic, and like, of course it's the correct way to say it, but in everyday kind of speech you say morgon, you don't pronounce the G.
God morgon.
God morgon. Now she didn't pronounce the G.
God eftermiddag.
God eftermiddag.
God natt.
God natt. Yeah, so no D. God natt. As well as god morgon. The D is silent.
Hej då.
These are 2 words. Hej då. You can spell them as one word, but the rule is don't. There should be a space between hej and då. So it's hej, blank space, då.
Jag har en bil.
Oh, okay. Now it's getting to a very complicated thing. The thing is, you say, when it comes to tea and coffee, you can use en or ett, one of the 2 articles. Most people use en for coffee and tea, so it's en kaffe en te. So this very beautiful drawing here is a cup, and if it's a bigger one, it's a mug, and both of these have the article en, and so because of that you can say en te, en kaffe, because you say in kind of brackets, you would say whoopsie daisy, and we say en kaffe because we mean en kaffe kopp, meaning a cup of coffee. So we say en kaffe, which is en kaffekopp. En kaffe meaning en kaffekopp, a cup of coffee. So tea, it depends on what you mean. If you mean a cup of tea, I would say en te. You would probably never have to use an article for tea, because you would just say I drink tea, or I'm going to get some tea. You would never have to say a tea. Just as in English you would say I'm gonna grab a coffee, but you wouldn't say I'm gonna grab a tea, at least that I'm aware of. And it's the same in Sweden. You would never really say that, a tea, in a context. But you could say teblad, which is a tea leaf, but that would be ett teblad. So I don't really know why they chose to give tea an article and to give that article be ett. I don't know. I would personally not give it an article. I would just have tea and then en kaffe, but not anything for tea. And the same goes with juice. You wouldn't say a juice. You would say a glass of juice, and then it's ett glas juice, because glass is ett glas. But I don't know if you would ever say My cats are playing with each other. That's why there's a mess in the background, or messy sound in the background. But I don't think we would ever say, can I have a juice? I mean, you would say en juice if you kind of buying, if you're buying a little like bottle of juice, you would say en juice. Jag köper en juice. So that is accurate, I guess.
Jag dricker kaffe.
I love the pronunciations. Jag dricker kaffe. In where I live, we go up on the A, we say kaffe. Kaffe. Because I live in northern Sweden, so we say kaffe. But it's kaffe. Like more that way. Not up the way that we do. It's also like different accents do different things. But I do like how they pronounce things.
Hej.
I think they should also have the other way that we say hi, which is hallå, and not just hey, but have both. So now that we've done all 6 lessons in this kind of category, we have something called conversation. So we're gonna start and have a conversation. So what I like about this is when I use this for Thai, the fact that I can just then play and hear either myself say all the words or skip, so that this pink thing is now Mondly and then the orange is me. So if we would now play, it would be me saying these things.
Det här är underbart.
Okay, first off, det här är underbart. That means this here is wonderful, not that what I said is wonderful. So like, this is great. It doesn't make sense in this conversation. Like I say I'm from the north and she responds with this here is wonderful. It would make more sense to have like, åh vad roligt, åh vad underbart, and not det här är underbart. That doesn't make sense. And then like, jag spelar fotboll på helger, och ni means you plural. That kind of makes it sound as if in this case I am talking to multiple people and not just the one Mondly character. So that sounds very strange. That och ni, that either it's very formal, which then would have the big N. I think I've mentioned this in one of my Young Royal videos, but like when it's you in plural, it's ni, or when it's in Swedish a singular form of this, it's ni. So we have you plural, ni, multiple people, but when it's in singular form, you can do like this, sing, then it's with a big N, and that means you're speaking to someone of a high rank, or you're being very formal. So then it's ni with a big N, a capital N. So in this case, since I am speaking to one person, I assume that they didn't know that there was a difference between you and you. There are 2 ways to translate you, because the word you in English is singular and plural. It can work in either situation. You talking to one person, you talking to 50 people. But in this case I would have och du, not och ni. It's och or å. You can pronounce it either way. So och ni, och du, or du. Both are, correct. We usually pronounce it å and not och. As I've said, we like to skip consonants, but we still drag out words. So it's still like å, not och. Oh, yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Populär musik.
Oh, nej. Okay, first of all, no one says populär musik. No one says that. It's pop musik. We say pop as well as in English. Pop musik, not populär musik.
Morfadern.
Okay, so now we get to the family names that I know seem or sound strange for a lot of people that only have one word to mean on both the mom's and the dad's side. So these are the words in Swedish for family members. As I said, mamma, pappa are the ones that you should use for mom and dad. But when it kind of starts creating words that have connections to family, these are the words you use. So if it's your mom's dad, then it's morfar. Then it's morfar. The first is how you are related to that person. You're related to this person on your mother's side. And who is this person to your mother? It's her father. So then it's your morfar. And you can also do this if you have a sister, so syster, and your sister has a son. So that would be here, son. And the word is systerson. So your sister's son, your nephew, is called systerson in Swedish. And the same goes here. So you have brorsdotter. So you can kind of create your own little family words this way. And then we have also, if you have, for example, your dad has a sister, then you have a fa, because the R is taken away. And then sy is taken away. So you have a faster. So your father's sister is your faster. So the way that we do family words in Swedish is that the first part of the word is how are you related to the person? What is your connection to this person? You are connected to this person on your mom's side. Mor. And then how is your mother connected to this person? That is the second part. And then we can have bror. You're connected to this person on your mom's side, and your mom is connected to this person because it's her brother. Then it's your morbror. So the word for uncle is morbror if it's your mother's brother, and farbror if it's your father's brother. So that's kind of how these are kind of made in Swedish, and that's why I think it's okay that they used moder and fader instead of mom and dad, because it can be easier to understand these words when you do that. So if, for example, I can actually tell you kind of a funny story, even though it's not extremely funny. But when books have to be translated from English to Swedish, English having only one word for grandparents and Swedish having two, depending on if it's the mother's or the father's side, translators have, in some cases, they need to ask the author, is it on the mom's side or is it on the dad's side, so that they translate it accurately. And I remember when I read the Harry Potter books in Swedish, and there was one of the books, I think it's the second book, that specified that Aunt Petunia was Harry's mother's sister. And in Swedish, it was so weird because it said that Petunia was her moster. Moster literally meaning mother's sister in Swedish. And then clarifying that Petunia was his mother's sister. Even though the word for on that was used for her was the word meaning mother sister. They still had to specify it because that's how it was in the original book. So that was kind of weird. But again, you don't say the grandfather. You never really need to say that. And in this case, I really wish they had that more information kind of button, because morfadern, you would think, oh, so that's the word for grandfather. I don't know if a lot of people would think, oh, is because it starts with mor, maybe it's on the mother's side. I don't know if a lot of people would connect that, but it's two different words, as I said.
Mormodern.
You don't say mormodern. You would say mormon, morfan. But again, you would never, I don't think you would ever be in a situation where you would have to say the grandmother. You would just say my grandmother or his grandmother or their grandmother, you know. Yeah. Does it say no? No. So now it just says grandfather means farfar. And farfar is father's father. Farfar. You're related to this person on your dad's side, far. And this person is his father, so farfar. Same goes with mom's mom. This person is related to you on your mom's side, mor, and it's her mother. So mor, mother's mother, mom's mom. And it's also strange to me because if I would translate something from Swedish to English, like, or rather if I would write something in the Swedish context but it's in English, and someone would say, this is my grandpa, no one in Sweden would ask, is it on your mom's or dad's side, because it's in the word. In Swedish you would know immediately who they were talking about. For example, like, I have one grandmother who lives outside of Stockholm and one who lives in the west coast outside of Gothenburg. And when I just talk about my grandmother in English, you would never know which one I'm talking about. But when I say it in Swedish, everyone I'm talking to knows which one I'm talking about. And so I think it's strange in English, because if I would write something like an English text set in Sweden, they would never need to the characters would never need to specify if it's on their mom's or dad's side, because everyone would know, and it would just be weird. It would just be weird. Okay, I think we're going to stop there for today. So now you can see on the statistics that there are a few things happening. So you can just on this brain there are things, and then you have on the level 5, and down below I have 55 minutes. I've spent 55 minutes, learned 78 words and 62 phrases. So that's how it went. So that was me trying Mondly. For the most part, I don't have that many comments. I like it. I think for the most part, the words that they used were good, and there were just a few things that I wanted to comment on that I commented on. And I am impressed with the pronunciation of the Mondly robot. I assume it's AI, but I am for the most part impressed by it. It sounded very accurate, and I don't really have that much to comment on pronunciation wise. There were just these words that I wanted to discuss, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you soon. Hej då!